and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game, Season 1, Episode 17, the last event being NXT TakeOver Glory. We will now get into the aftermath. I took a couple days off. I was feeling under the weather. I'm feeling a little bit better now, not great. Don't know if I'm going to get another show up tomorrow, but I'm going to try to continuously do shows as I feel, that I'm able to do them. But let's go ahead and get into Season 1, Episode 17, the first event after Glory. Alright, the camera shows a limo pull up with Triple H and his best buddy and new NXT road agent Scott Hall walking into the arena. Triple H is holding a briefcase. So, 74 rating, not bad. Alright, Renee Young, welcome to NXT. We are just 3 days removed from NXT TakeOver Glory, where James Storm successfully defended the NXT Championship against the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. We also saw Enzo and Cass retain their NXT Tag Team titles, and the crowning of the first ever NXT Television Champion in Zack Ryder, who will be defending his title for the first time tonight against Ty Dillinger in the Open. Tom Phillips, what a show TakeOver Glory was, Renee. What a show indeed. Graves, thanks for adding adding to the conversation, genius. Renee, do you have an update on McIntyre? We do not, but Drew will be here to update on the condition tonight and why NXT doctors kept him out of the ring against Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver Glory. Now, to the action. In a match that had some good action but not in the much way of heat, Zack Ryder defeated Ty Dillinger in 6 minutes by pinfall with a leg lariat. Zack Ryder, I believe that's called the Rough Rider. Zack Ryder makes his defense of NXT television title #1. Commentary and the announcing gave it a boost. As you guys may have or may not remembered, NXT television title will only be defended, except for rare circumstances, on NXT television, not on TakeOver specials. Like I said, we may have one defended on a TakeOver special. I don't want to say it or not, but we're going to be going to a bi-weekly or tri-weekly basis where the NXT television title is defended. Alright. The camera now finds Byron Saxton in the back with Gail Kim. Byron goes to speak, but gets cut off. Don't even speak, says Gail. She cuts off Byron. I think it's an absolute joke that Bayley has a match tonight, and the new NXT Women's Champion is sitting on this island. And if you recall, Gail Kim got the pinfall at NXT TakeOver Glory, and thus was declared the NXT Women's Champion. Byron Saxton. Gail, I have to contradict. I hate to contradict. Gail Kim. Then don't, Byron. Byron pauses. I was told earlier tonight you asked for the evening off. Is that not true? Gail Kim. God, says Gail. Of course it's you, Byron. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, bless you. Bless me. Why should these POFO fans get to see me wrestle? The fans boo. Regardless, I wasn't scheduled anyways. Regal booking Bayley in a series of matches to see if she's worthy of contendership? What about Dana? Emma? What about... Just then, they both look off screen. Asuka walks up. So what I'm hearing is you want to fight, Gail. That's good to hear. I'm like you, she says, pausing. I'm like Bayley, she says, getting a pop from the crowd. Asuka waits for Gail to talk. No, don't talk, she says, calling back to what Gail did to Byron a moment ago. I'm glad you see me like this. I'm feisty. Next week, I'm challenging to a match, one-on-one. Non-title, of course. Asuka walks off screen, giving the fans a huge smile and flipping her hair unknowingly. Byron, challenge laid down, he said in Byron Saxton fashion. What do you say, Gail? Gail just looks at Byron and walks away. So, in an extremely short match, Bayley defeated Dana Brooke in 5 minutes with the Hugplex. The announcing and coloring commentary a boost. The Bay storyline has continued, and Bayley looked good out there. Dana Brooke, impressive, keeping up with Bayley, it looks like. So Bayley continuing to be the focus of the women's division, even though she's not the champion. Dana Brooke serving as a catalyst for Bayley right now. Now the scene opens with Scott Hall holding a briefcase backstage. Scott Hall addressing the NXT Universe. Chicos, he says to the camera as Triple H watches. My boogity H. Well, he was nice enough to give me a job as a road agent. Hall looks at Triple H, who nods. He was nice enough to give me creative freedom. Inside this case is the NXT #1 Contendership Championship contract. And much like Hunter's idea for the Money in the Bank briefcase in the WWE, well, he owns that trademark and the rights to the concept. And guess what? We're bringing it to NXT, Chico. The fans go apeshit. Chicos, at the next NXT TakeOver special, I believe it's Our Evolution, we're going to have an NXT Money in the Bank match. But unlike those other guys, referring to the WWE, you don't get a whole year. You don't have to wait a whole year. You only have 4 months. 4 months to cash in. And once you cash in, the following TakeOver special, well, the briefcase is back on the line. Not this once-in-a-year bullshit. No rest for the champion. NXT Championship Money in the Bank. It's official. It's coming to NXT. So, one of my favorite concepts in wrestling right now. I'm not a huge gimmick fan, but I love the Money in the Bank concept, and I'm going to do it once every 4 months The briefcase will change hands. Will they cash in? Will they not? Will a face say he's challenging him to a match at TakeOver? Will they run in after a match? I don't know, but it gives me a lot of booking possibilities. So I'm very excited with that in the Television Championship implementation. I feel now after 16 events I can really get NXT off and running. The camera now finds Bayley backstage drinking some water. All of a sudden, Gail Kim nails her from behind, furious still from the previous segment, and hits her with the NXT Women's Championship. The fans booed loudly as Dana Brooke, whom Bayley just beat, and Emma join in on the assault. The three leave quickly as road agents rush to tend to Bayley. So more healing going on Bayley. Alright, and about that had solid in-ring action, but no heat. The Mechanics defeated the Vaudevillains in 8 minutes when Scott Dawson defeated Simon Gotch by pinfall. Scott Dawson wasn't great tonight, but I guess Dash Wilder was doing fairly well. The Vaudevillains, I believe, lose only their second match here in NXT, and the Mechanics get a much-needed victory. They're on the heel side. I'm looking for some guys to challenge Enzo and Cass. They might be it. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see how the next couple shows play out heading to NXT TakeOver R Evolution. Alright, a camera shows Samoa Joe in the back holding a sign smiling. The sign reads, "Joe's gonna kill you." Joe then smirks and drops his sign, revealing another sign. Next week. The scene veins with Joe smirking. So Samoa Joe just hyping his match next week versus an unknown opponent. Again, as I've said before, I like building to matches the following week. Alright, now the camera shifts to the back as Drew McIntyre is standing in the back with a cane. NXT Universe, he says, pausing. I'm very sorry. From the deepest, darkest part of my heart, I am sorry. I am sorry I was unable to face Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver Glory. I am sorry I was unable to rid NXT of the arrogant Finn Balor. The fans boo. You see, I have a real injury, an injury that would have kept any man in bad action for months. But you see, I'm just not like any man, and the NXT TakeOver special, our Evolution, I promise you that Finn Balor will be put in his place. But in order to prepare myself to be ready for the fight so soon, I need to take time off to prepare. So you won't see me until the next NXT TakeOver special. The fans cheer, which causes Drew to get pissy. You think that's funny you don't get to see me? You think not seeing the Chosen One is funny? Whatever. Regardless, sooner rather than later, Balor, I'm sending your ass back to Ireland. Storyline has continued. As you may or may not remember, McIntyre got hurt. He was actually unable to wrestle at the show, and the Kendrick took his spot. So, yep, building up to it. In a match that has some good action, making his NXT wrestling debut, Sami Zayn defeated Solomon Kane by pinfall by illegally using the ropes for leverage. During the match, we saw Eva Marie distract Sami Zayn, and Tyler Breeze almost also distract Sami Zayn. That's right. Sami Zayn going a little heel tonight, using the ropes for leverage. Not something he usually does, but I thought with all the heel tactics outside the ring with Eva Marie and Tyler Breeze that it was well worth the comeuppance, or not the comeuppance, what's the word I'm looking for? It's well worth the irony here for him to win away. Breeze would have won. The beautiful storyline has advanced. So that's his feud right now going on with Tyler Breeze. That is Sami Zayn. Remember, Tyler Breeze did defeat Sami Zayn at the pay-per-view. Renee Young. Now we're looking at a video. Well, you have it. You don't have to wait until next week to find out. Gail Kim and Asuka will go one-on-one next week on NXT. Also, since he retained in his NXT since Zack Ryder retained in his NXT television title defense, he will sit back and watch as two NXT superstars go one-on-one to determine who fights Zack Ryder the following week for the NXT television title. Commissioner Regal says going forward it's going to be like this. Every week, every other week, tri-weekly. The title will be defended regularly. Corey Graves. NXT television title is going to be the working man's title. Renee, quality at its finest. A nice defense by Ryder here tonight. William Regal. Yes, he's on the phone, by the way. I understand. You could have told me this in person, Hunter. You're just 1,000 feet away in the other room. Regal pauses, looking at his cell phone. Yes, I get it. You're busy. That's fine. Well, good show. Puts a wrinkle on how I wanted to run things in NXT, but I'll work around it. Money in the Bank briefcase is not a bad idea. William Regal hangs up the phone and shakes his head. Regal looks through a stack of papers and takes a deep breath. William Regal. Next! He calls out. The door swings open and the camera fixes on a sign that reads, Assistant General Manager to the General Manager of NXT, William Regal. All applicants accepted. So it looks like William Regal is searching for an Assistant General Manager. Not sure if I'm going to play this off into a comedy role, but I have a lot of workers that I'm not currently having in storylines, and I want to get more people involved in active storylines. So let's see what happens next. Now we have Finn Balor backstage before the main event. Finn Balor. So you were telling me the truth. Go figure. At NXT TakeOver Evolution, you and me will go one-on-one, Drew. I mean, if you can stay healthy, that is. Pitting Kendrick against me? Well, that was smart. Kendrick is a great wrestler. He pushed me to my limits. Finn continues. But playing a game of chicken against me isn't smart. Putting yourself into the position to succeed? That's smart. Putting yourself in a position in which you have to face me and move up the NXT ladder? Not so smart. Finn Balor continues. You see, McIntyre, no matter how much you want this... Excuse me. You see, McIntyre, no matter how much you want this to not be personal, it's personal. Us, our families, wasn't personal. We aren't the Hatfield and McCoys, McIntyre. But it seems that you want things personal. So ask and you shall receive, because my foot is about to get personal with your ass. The scene ends as the Battle of the Club flashes. And now we have the NXT Champion, James Storm. In the match that had good action and average heat, Storm defeated Apollo Crews by 6 minutes with the 8-second ride. This was a showcase match for the NXT Champion, James Storm, who didn't get any mic time, but he went to the ring and took care of business tonight against Apollo Crews, who beat Solomon Crowe at NXT Glory. Crowe is kind of at a mid-card talent level right now. James Storm is getting the mega push with the championship. So far, he hasn't been beaten. He did defeat, by the way, he did defeat and retain against Baron Corbin at the pay-per-view. So this is how we're in the NXT this week. Big push. The general feeling that we don't have enough storylines increased in 10, lost in 11. Not great. Funny because we're supposed to have 3 storylines of 53 or greater as of last event, and before this event we had 5 of them that were 53 or greater. They're borderline 52, 54, but they were greater than 53. Apparently they dropped a little bit, so I'll get back to the drawing board. So far, I really enjoyed this show after NXT TakeOver Glory. I'm really looking forward to how the NXT storylines have advanced. We have the NXT television, which is a huge angle going forward. We have the NXT Money in the Bank now being introduced, which is huge going forward, and the assistant general manager to the general manager of the NXT universe, Commissioner William Regal storyline going forward as well. So 3 pretty big angles. Who's going to challenge Storm at our Evolution? We don't know. Who's going to challenge the champions? We don't know. The women's stuff's still going on. We have lots of good stuff going on. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll continue to enjoy.